Welcome back, everybody, to Teach, Inspire and Grow podcast. I have an amazing person here, Ron Usher, who has designed and developed what's called the Otterball game. I'll let him tell you the story in a little bit so I don't steal his limelight, but I am really thrilled to have you here with me today talking. I do have the first question. Are you ready? I have to refer to my notes, right, if I can actually see it, because it's very dark here in the UK today. What's your very first memory of water, and how do you think that memory shapes the way that you see swimming today?
Two stories which I don't really share or think about. One, I was probably 2 or 3 in the Long Jones Beach back east where I was born. I was born in back east, and walked out to the water with my cousin, who was my older cousin, was 2 months older than me, and she thought she knew it all. And I stepped into a little hole in the sand and I went under, and she picked me up and grabbed me. She was only 2 months older than me.
Wow.
She grabbed me and brought me in the sand. And for years, she told how she saved my life. There's an element of truth to that.
What's an element?
There's an element of truth to that. She did. So just
the
went under
sand,
and she just grabbed me.
On you.
Yeah. She had spent more time in the sand. She knew what was going on. I did not. But I always loved the beach. I have many pictures when I was a kid with my family in the beach. The second one was at a YMCA camp, Camp Campbell in the Bay Area, which I loved going, and they had a pool. And I could swim. My mom taught me to swim, but I couldn't swim in a straight line. So I failed the test.
Oh.
And it always frustrated me that I failed this test because I couldn't swim in a straight line. And
because you didn't, what their reasoning was, because you were going.
I couldn't go into the deep end because I couldn't swim in a straight line.
Oh wow! Okay, very strict.
It was very strict. I'm trying to think. I was probably 6 or 7, but yeah, I remember failing and not getting that. I was quite angry.
Yeah.
But yeah,
absolutely.
That's their rules.
Oh.
Those are my 2 rules. Failures.
Yeah. Oh, not failures at all. But did you, when they said no, you can't do, did you carry on, or did you just say I don't want this anymore, and then your mum carried on?
Mom wasn't there. It was like a weekend. It was probably a week camp for 3 or 4 days. I stayed and I played in the water and I did all the things, so it didn't really affect me. But I remember being very angry that I couldn't swim in a straight line. I think it's because I swam with my eyes closed.
Oh, and okay.
Even now, when I go into the water and I go underwater and I don't have goggles, I close my left eye. I swim with one eye open all the time, and I didn't know that until somebody took pictures of me teaching their kids underwater, and I'm with the kids in my hands and I'm holding them, and why do I look like a pirate? And you close your left all the time, and I still do. I will close my left eye all the time.
Oh, interesting.
When I'm swimming. Yeah.
So it wasn't the thing to wear goggles back then?
They didn't have goggles back then.
Okay.
It was pre-PG, pre-goggles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the goggles really started coming around in late 60s, early 70s is when the goggles came around. So in high school swimming, we didn't have goggles.
Wow. That must have then. So that just shows, though, doesn't it, then, because obviously we try and say learn with goggles, but then learn without.
Yes.
To be able to have what it's like. But for the main part, obviously, I like using goggles because I think the children see it clearly, which is obviously why you were going like this.
Me too. I'm a big goggle fan.
Yeah.
Make things as easy as possible.
Right.
For them to learn. And then you can take the goggles away. But why make it hard? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And could you imagine if all kids learned to swim like I did, and kids
one eye ran around?
It's a pirate swim school.
Oh, that's amazing. So after that camp, then did you carry on?
I swam, right? We belonged to a swim club, and I swam and everything else. And I was in 7th grade, and my friend Joe DeBoard went to, hey Joe, how's it going? And went to the high school and joined the Hill swim team. And he
Right.
came back and he said, "Do you want to join the hill swim team?" And I said, "Sure, whatever." So I joined the hill swim team in 7th grade, swam, and then the coach asked us to play water polo. So I got in, I started playing water polo.
Right.
I loved swimming. I really loved water polo. Water polo was much, much more fun. In sophomore year, we became locker room attendants, and they put us in the pool to help with swim lessons, which I was really good at, really good. And then at 16, I got my lifeguard card, and I worked as a lifeguard and a swim instructor at the pool, the high school pool. I swam all 4 years in high school.
Right.
I graduated from high school, and I started coaching the hill swim team.
Okay.
And I started coaching, and I thought I was going to be an engineer and go on and be a scientist. And I ended up
Right.
being a swim coach for the next 50 plus years.
Blimey. So what was part of it then that kept you doing that rather than veering off to that engineering? What was it that kept you there?
What kept me from engineering was I had no self-discipline, and I had
Right.
no ability to learn how to study. T-shirts, tennis shoes on the deck. So fun. I just really loved it. I found it challenging and rewarding. I'm a people person, so I
Right.
was always there. I'm friends on Facebook with kids I taught
Amazing.
to swim way back when, and my first coaches, I'm still friends, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's nice to see their journey as well, isn't it? And keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the
Yeah.
same thing with my families, and it's really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you were coaching when you were doing coaching, did you stay in that age range for a little bit, or did you gravitate then to start doing different age groups?
I coached mostly 8 to 11, maybe
Okay.
we might have had some 6-year-olds on the team.
Okay.
So that was my coaching, 6, and then 11 and 12. And by the time they were 11 or 12, they were old enough to move up into the group.
Right.
When you first start out, you learn a lot. There's a lot of things I did wrong, few things I did.
Right.
But the thing I did was I made it fun so that they
Yeah.
wanted to stay. They came to practice. If you're not having fun, you don't come to practice. You don't come to practice, you don't get better. So I was very good at making it fun, trying to be funny with them on the pool deck.
Yeah.
I did that for longer than 10 years. At
Yeah.
some point, I coached high school. So then I was dealing with 14 to 17 and 18-year-olds. And high school swimming in the States is so fun.
Right.
It's great. Eventually, I coached the junior college. I coached masters, and
Do everything. You're a man of multi.
everything. I've been in it a long time. So you do it long enough, you get a
Yeah.
lot of experiences. I
Yeah.
managed some pools, which I
So-
really like. What I really like now is I like helping instructors be better instructors. I like helping coaches be better coaches.
Right.
I think that one of the reasons I like that is because I think I can leverage my experience. If I'm
Right.
working with one kid or 10 kids, I got those 10 kids.
Right.
But if I'm working with 10 instructors,
Right.
I potentially could be leveraging 100 kids and helping 100 kids learn to love the water and learn to swim and be water safe and become lifeguards and continue go surfing and be
That's
safe in
right.
boats. So
Yeah.
that's
But it seems to be that from an early stage in your career, you had this mindset already to make it playful, to make it enjoyable, rather than it being drill based. So you're doing this, what I tell you to do. So you obviously had that already in you, which you've then taken.
I think I've always been a little silly, a little goofy, wanting to have fun, wanting to play. I think that's my personality, and that's just that's who I am. I think at some point I used to think it was a flaw. I needed to be stern and steady and disciplined. Discipline, Ron, discipline. But I actually think now that the play is critical. And I think it's missing in our society a lot of times.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about play, you've designed something that obviously goes with your passion that you had back in the day, water polo, and then you've mixed it. Tell us, because I'm fascinated and I want to know, how did you come up with the name Otterball?
Okay, let me tell you the whole Otterball story, because it's really recent. This whole Otterball thing has only started maybe 6 months ago when the idea first came to me.
I did not know that. Okay.
It actually, when we first met in Stuart, Florida, that is relevant to Otterball.
Okay.
I've been coaching and teaching forever. I'm a very good teacher. They were having a WSI class. I do not want to go teach lessons at a pool for somebody and make $20 an hour.
Right.
I just don't. But I thought, I'm going to take this class. So I drove down to Stuart, Florida. It was almost a 2-hour drive every day. And I took the WSI class. It was very similar to the WSI class I took when I was 16.
Right.
Very similar. It's a little different. Some things are better. Nothing was worse, but very similar. And I thought, why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing it. And then I looked at this beautiful 50-meter pool.
Right.
And there's kids in the pool who can't swim. They're wearing life jackets because they can't swim. There's kids on the pool not going into the water because they can't swim. And I said, why aren't these kids taking lessons? Their prices were cheap.
Right.
And they said, we can't get enough instructors.
Oh.
Why not? Because if you get the WSI, costs $500 and took 40 hours worth of work, 10 hours online, 30 hours in person.
Okay.
I started teaching at 16. When I was 16, I wasn't going to pay $100 to do this course. I think it was 30 or 40. And even then that seemed expensive.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
Most kids, most young people who are going to teach that class cannot afford that money or the time. Also, it's not necessary for most people to learn to be able to teach swimming. For most people, you don't need that. I could teach somebody how to teach most kids in 5 hours, maybe 10.
Right.
So also in the Bay Area, because we had just moved to Florida, and all my friends were water polo coaches. I loved coaching water polo. I loved it. It excited me. It meshed with my swimming experience and my adapted PE background. It was great. So I said, let's skirt the system. Well, what can we do that if you teach swim lessons, you have to have the WSI. But if you teach water polo, Red Cross could care less about a water polo license. They don't have it. There's nothing in Red Cross about coaching or teaching water polo. And if you made the curriculum so that you taught people how to teach swimming through water polo, you could skirt the system.
Look at you go, finding that little gap to sneak through.
So I thought, how can we do that? And I got Otterball. Right. So Otterball. So that's what I started working on. That was only about 6 months ago that the whole concept of this came together. And so I've been working on building the website, building content, thinking for teens and older kids in swimming lessons.
Yes, I agree.
There's a huge gap because it's not fun. And I taught for 50 years, put your face in water, blow bubbles, turn your head to the side, get a breath, move your arms this way, kick. But man, I tell you what, if I'm 15 years old, I don't want to learn that way. Not at all. But if you give me a ball and you show me how to throw it and you give me a target and you get me swimming and playing with my friends, then that's great. And just like you with your vest.
Yes.
So you can play enjoy the water with holding onto a noodle. Or other flotation device. So let's get you used to the water, having fun. And then as you're having fun and improving your skills, then you start scaffolding down the equipment so that then you don't need it. So that's a large part of my Otterball program is teaching the teachers how to do that. So,
I love that.
Anybody can play.
No. And the fact that you've been so smart in creating an answer to having less teachers. So how can we actually enable more children to be taught by then helping them use a different route to be able to still then hit as many children as possible, but then not have that stopgap of saying, I can't afford to do that. So therefore, I want to do it, but I can't because I don't have the funds to do it. But you've come in and given them that option. But then it's such in a way of where it's much more than what the WSI is offering anyway. In my eyes.
I would like to think so. I would like to think so.
Yeah. And we're going to be capturing and this is the thing that I try and bring awareness to, is that it's all good and well having your parent and me classes, your toddlers, your preschoolers, and the younger years. But like you said, we're missing a huge group of kids that probably still love being in the water, because they do. They probably love surfing, going boogie boarding or kayaking or whatever it is in that age range, but they might not necessarily be strong enough yet or water aware yet. And so that's what I'm trying to bring through this purposeful play, which is what you're doing with Otterball. And I just think I commend you and thank you for doing that, because we're trying to be creative of reducing these drowning statistics, which we all know is the reason why we do our job, at the same time as children having a lifelong love of water. But then also it's thinking about those adults that had such a traumatic experience from day dot that they no longer want to, and then they get into trouble if they go on holiday
and their kids don't swim, because 70% of the parents who can't swim, their kids can't swim, and it's probably closer to 90%.
I'm sure
it's really high. There's so many good things about this concept of Otterball. It's because it could be family. You could have an Otterball night where the adults, everybody gets in, and you can, if everybody wears life jackets, you can start playing, and then it's 100% safe. Or if you hold, and water polo is really hard.
Yes,
it's really hard. So I'm a decent swimmer. I would be exhausted within 5 minutes. But if I'm holding on to a noodle, I'm tired. Okay, I'll kind of splash around and go around. There's so many good things about the concept. The other thing is that I'm really interested in your perspective on this.
Okay.
If I fall overboard into an ocean or a lake that's cold, I am not going to put my face in the water and swim freestyle and turn my head to the side and over there. No. I grew up in Santa Cruz. That water's cold. It's hard to put your face in the water. So with Otterball, you're doing most of your stuff either on your back, but not flat on your back with your head back, like we teach kids to float. You're up almost like sitting down in a chair, and your head's up, and you can breathe.
Exciting.
As a swim instructor, I was like a drill sergeant. Oh, you have to do one bubble, one breath, bubble, breath. And if you went, oh, you failed, we got to start over. And it was a joke and everything else, but I'd be very good at it. But you think about it, if you're afraid or you're scared or you're tired, you're going to keep your head up and you're going to get those breaths. So it's okay. If you're a competitive swimmer, it's not okay.
I was just about to say that. You've got the two leads or the two legs, haven't you? And that's what, again, that I'm trying to think about for teachers is, are you teaching them to perfect their strokes for that reason? Or are you getting them to do what you're doing for the safety side of things? Because you can merge the two of them. But essentially, if we're teaching them for survival, then there are much other ways of, rather than just floating. There's multitudes of skills to learn. And you do have the water polo actions of lifting your head up to spot and to sight where you're going, which you do in triathlons. When you're doing the water section, you have to spot. So you look and then you're down and look. So again, it's trying to provide those swimmers or the children such an enriched program so it covers them all, rather than just focusing on just one particular flip and float, and then that's all they do for 10 minutes. Adding in rhythmic swimming, that used to be called synchronized swimming, things like that, because you're doing some type of moves, then you roll onto your back, you're doing some flips, you're sticking your legs up and you're doing fast moves, slow moves, holding your breath.
They're amazing athletes. They're amazing athletes and amazing water athletes. Very disciplined. Much more disciplined than I ever was.
I mean, I couldn't hold my breath for that long at all. These divers, wow.
During COVID, we worked out a pool, and our water polo team, both boys and girls, they're running around like knuckleheads. There was the Santa Clara Aquamaids practice there, and there was girls that were probably 10 or 11. They would set their camera up on the side of the pool. They would do a move. They would look at their camera. They would go put the camera down, do a move, look at the camera, do a move, look at the camera.
Wow.
I thought, my God, the discipline, those kids.
They're perfected. To get their legs just right and the toes pointed and the thing.
I mean, I love water polo and I did Otterball and I see a lot of advantages of that. But if you were owned a swim school, you could also. Because WSI does not say, oh, you have to have a WSI to teach or aqua. So you could teach those skills to a beginning beginning
Right.
swimming. So you're teaching beginning swimming, but you're
Right.
just doing it through a synchronized.
Yeah, a different approach. No, I love it. So with regards to then obviously setting up this new concept, which is amazing, that's obviously come with a learning curve behind the scenes.
Yes, very much.
How have you found that? Because obviously, again, what we were speaking about, we're being so involved in teaching the swimming side of it that if you are wanting to add things like this to broaden your program, obviously there's a lot of back end stuff that needs to be done with promotion and marketing and things like that. With Otterball, do you need some type of materials for people?
So the Otterball book is not done
Right.
yet. It's in process.
Oh,
It's in
there you
process.
go.
The on the website, you can download the free quick start guide, which is pretty much going to be the Otterball book with a few more
Okay,
details. I highly recommend it. It's very strong. It's very thorough.
brilliant.
You have more than enough there to start your program, and it will not be there forever because eventually that will be a for sale project. My
Yes.
idea was to do a video course through
Okay.
Course Creator 360,
Right.
and I'm learning how to do that system. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning. Part of my
Yeah.
being here with you
Yeah.
is to learn how to do this kind of performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I'm a very good marketer.
Yep.
I think I'm good. I think I'm learning how to market on social media and
Yep.
market and program. What happened was, so I came up with the Otterball thing, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to sell it to aquatic directors. And I know aquatic directors. I know how to meet them. I know where they are. And
Yeah.
also PE teachers.
Yeah.
Because as a PE
Yep.
teachers, they don't know how to teach swimming. And this is
Right.
great for PE program. So I was very excited about it. And I went to a conference.
Right.
And I realized that nobody cares. I'm just selling something.
Right.
I'm just selling something and nobody
Right.
wants it. I
Mm,
spoke to Steve Card, who's the Parks and Recreation Director for
right.
Georgia. And he said, yeah, you can come, you can pay your vendor fees, you can come,
Yep.
but you're not going to get to speak.
Oh,
You just come and set up a desk, and I'm going to pay $500 to set up a desk, and nobody's going to care. You need a message.
mm,
So I thought that's very true.
it is
Very,
very
very
true.
true. Very, very true. So
Need to
I needed
them.
a speaking website with a message.
Right.
So I made a speaking website, ronusher.net. And
Right.
that message is aquatic deserts. It's reviving your pool for
Mm,
aquatic directors. And yeah, if you want to do Otterball, awesome. But if you want to do synchronized swimming, awesome.
Yep.
If you want to do diving contests, yes. So I have ideas and ways
Yeah.
that places can can bring the aquatics back to the
Amazing.
neighborhood and the community. And
Yeah.
that just stemmed from the fact that nobody's going to buy products,
Right.
especially
Well,
until you don't get the message out.
yeah, yeah. And I think though it's if you do own your own pool space, you have times of where it's quiet, and it's trying to then think of ways how can we actually utilize our pool space, because we all know it's very expensive to be running a pool, hence why there's unfortunately so many closures, especially here in the UK, more and more happening every day. It's so sad, just because they're not entrepreneurial enough to think how else can we bring people in and what other programs can we add to be able to then have a paying program. And it's things like this, and it's things like my Power H2O and things like that, and being strategic in what you're saying, which you can help provide those with for the aquatics directors. And
yeah, I think aquatics, there's swim schools that are making a killing.
right,
There's swim schools, and they're full.
right,
They're doing swimming lessons, and they're doing aqua aerobics for the seniors.
yeah,
They're bringing in special needs kids. They're
yeah,
bringing in the community. There's so many events, but you're right.
yes,
They don't think like entrepreneurs and
no,
like business people. They think
yeah,
like swim instructors.
right,
And I think everybody needs to start thinking in this business needs to start thinking like an entrepreneur.
yeah,
And a lot of the content I put on LinkedIn is trying to get people to rethink
yeah.
what aquatics can
Looks like,
be and what it should be.
yeah, it's reimagining the future, isn't it, of we what is the purpose of what we're trying to achieve, because there are a number of people that are not a number of people, but there are some individuals and business owners that come in that just want to take over because they know that there's the money there and they don't have the background. And so it's almost like the site is lost as to what's the purpose of that particular entity. Whereas I think with yourself, and you're still bringing in an enriched program rather than just saying, oh, it's all about the money, because it is about the money, because otherwise we wouldn't have business. But you can't lose sight of that it's swimming lessons are for children, or it's for teenagers, or it's for parents or families that need to have a cheaper option, or whatever it is, not losing sight of what we're actually trying, why we're here for what we're doing.
Sadly, swimming pools are expensive, and the communities used to fund that.
Right.
It used to be part of what they fund. The community, the government involvement in funding pools has really decreased. It's been decreasing since 1970.
Yeah.
And so if we care about drowning prevention, if we care about fitness, and if you care about the sporting aspect, competitive swimming, water polo, which I love, then you need to start thinking about, okay, how can we support this pool? I do believe that pools can make money in the right way. I also think that if you don't do it right way, it can be a huge
detriment.
Huge pit. Just put your money in here. It'd be nice if the government built pools and said, okay, this pool's going to take $1 million a year to operate, and we're gonna fund you $1 million, and we're gonna every 10, 15 years it needs to be redone, so we're gonna save $1 million. So it would be great.
Oh, amazing.
It would be great. And that's what they used to do. But I made a post on LinkedIn today, and the picture, I've been getting pictures from the Library of Congress of old swimming pools and old swimmers and stuff. And they're very fun.
Yeah.
The picture was of kids in the Washington Square Monument pool there, because the government, this was in 25, decided, oh no, they decided they weren't going to pay for the pool. So they went to where there was just water and just took that picture. So this problem's been going on for
ages. Yeah. I don't think that we can rely. I don't think we should rely on any. I think we should rely on what we're trying to and see how we can keep it going. So if you are a business owner, yes, you can get grants and things, and just be just creative in how you can try and fund what you're trying to achieve. And there are ways of doing it.
There are definitely ways. There's definitely ways. And one other point I did want to touch on with the Otterball and with this whole thing is, in Great Britain and America and Australia, this is a problem, but it's a much more bigger and dangerous problem in underdeveloped countries like in Africa. And one of the things I really like about Otterball is I think it could be easily taught and easily catch on in underdeveloped countries. They would love it. You don't need much equipment. You need really good swimming instructors, but
it's like you're saying, you'll be teaching them how to do it, but it's the skill sets that you have as a teacher, but you're just being creative in what you're doing in the pool. And I think because it's been so prescriptive of doing this, and you have to stick to that. Like you said, that the WSI qualification hasn't changed in however many years, but children have, and it just will keep evolving. So that's why having programs and curriculums like you're doing, it's moving with the times, and that's what we really need to start thinking is for the future, and maybe change and tweak it ready in anticipation of what could be potentially coming. But maybe the swimmers could have the orca swim trainer on.
Absolutely could have an orca swim trainer. Do you make adult sizes, teen sizes?
Oh, I know. Well, I have been asked about that, but no, I don't. But that is something for sure to think about.
I have some ideas, and we can talk about how orca and Otterball can maybe work together, because there are some issues, because I have never lost a swimmer. I am never going to lose a swimmer. But I can certainly see there's an element of risk when you bring equipment into the pool for a non-swimmer. There's an element of risk.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard as you're writing or as you're making a video course to make sure that everybody understands that risk and can avoid it.
Yeah.
And having something like the orca on, then you're completely safe. And you can scaffold those down so that you can swim. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that sounds good. I have one last question to
yes,
close
and I do have to get going.
Yes. And again, I can't see it. Right. As we come to an end of our podcast today, I have one more question. And we often talk about what we teach swimmers, but is there something that a swimmer or a child or even an adult has taught you that you've never forgotten?
I've just seen so many instances of really brave people overcoming their fear of water. One woman at Foothill College just always struck with me. She was petrified of the water, and she was petrified of the water. And so she came every day to the swim class, and I worked with her. And I wasn't in the water; I was on the deck because
Okay.
I had a big class. And she did the progressions. Now, of course, this was back then where it was blow bubbles, turn your head, blow bubbles, turn your head. But she came every day, and we had one instant. This was a lesson for me. Was I was doing deep water adjustment, and she let go of the wall, which we were supposed to do. But her kick was so bad it drove her down to the bottom of the pool. And she's looking up at me, these big eyes, and she's going down. So I threw off my parka, jumped in the pool, stayed with her, got over the hump. She was determined. By the end of the semester, she jumped off the 3-meter diving board and swam 50 yards independently.
Oh, amazing.
That was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah. From the both of you, with her determination and your patience and perseverance, it's a win-win, isn't it? So it's brilliant. Yeah, no, I love it. Oh, thank you so much today, Ron. I really appreciate it. I could obviously speak to you for a lot longer, but
I hope we get to do this again. It's very fun. Thank you.
No, that's really great. Thank you, and all the best. And just quickly, your website, I'll put it onto the comments, but where's the best place to go to get some more information?
Otterball.com. And if you want to hire me for speaking gigs, which I'm looking to do, is ronusher.net.
Brilliant.
Oh, I got one other one that I'm going to recommend because I got a lot of websites going on.
Look at you go.
CoachRonUsher.com is turning into a hub for beginning swim instructors, beginning swim coaches, and also athletes who want to improve their swimming.
Okay.
So that's actually my oldest site, and we just worked on improving it and getting the content up to date. So if you're a swim instructor and you really want my approach to swimming, that's where to go. If you want to know about how to play Otterball and how to get involved in that, go to playotterball.com. And if you want to hire me to speak at your convention or wherever, ronusher.net.
Perfect. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Bye, Helen. Bye.